following is a production of the Averett Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to the East Stewart Grant Center at Averett University, where we are a minute and 55 seconds away from the start of today's USA South Conference game between the Panthers of LaGrange College and your Averett University Cougars. I'm Davin Wilson, and I will be on the ones and twos for today's game. Always a good game when these two sides meet. Always a lot of really more a defensive matchup between these two guys, as both programs, that is what their bread and butter is solid defense and rebounding. And so we're going to see if we have another contest like that again here this afternoon. We're going to take a look here first at just a quick rundown here on the Kickback Jacks pregame show. Averett coming in playing its first game of the new decade, hosting the Panthers. They're coming off a heartbreaking loss, 93-92 to Huntington College a week before Christmas. And a fun note right there, Huntington College, coached by former graduate assistant, Averett graduate assistant David Gergangas, and was able to pick up the dub on his return trip here to the Grant Center. And as you can see, it was quite a ball game, 1 point being the difference. LaGrange, not much of a slowdown for the Panthers here in the new year, as they have already played twice since the holiday break. They played number 21 Guilford College to start things off, ended up losing 84-67, and then they followed that with a game against the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh at the Emory University shootout from December 29th and 30th. So right now the Cougars are 5-4 all-time against LaGrange. The series dates back to the 2012-13 season. The Cougars took the first 4 meetings, but the Panthers have taken 4 of the last 5 matchups, including a 91-76 win in LaGrange last season. And the Cougars will return to action on January 4th when they host LaGrange College to tip off the spring segment of the 2019-20 schedule. We're going to take a quick break for the national anthem here on the Averett Sports Network. That was the national anthem brought to you by Averett University's own Averett University Singers. So now we're going to take a look here at the starting lineup for both sides. First off, for the Panthers of LaGrange, we've got number 5, junior guard Julian Cameron. Number 11, sophomore guard Henry Blair gets the number 2 spot. Number 12, junior forward Lincoln Anderson will get the 3rd starting nod. Sophomore guard Burchard Edwards will pick up the 4th spot. And rounding out the starting 5 for the Panthers is number 32, Ronald Youngblood, the junior forward out of Birmingham, Alabama. The Panthers are coached by Kendall Wallace, who's in his 9th season. Meanwhile, the associate head coach, is Jason Jonas, and the assistant coaches are Justin Olson, Braxton Ford, and Mike White. So for the Cougars, number 2, Keyshawn Lewis, the sophomore guard out of Virginia Beach, getting the starting nod. Number 3, junior guard Montre Cash in the number 2 spot. Number 12, Timothy Henry, the senior forward out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Timothy Henry in the 4th spot is number 24, sophomore forward out of Wake Forest, Isaiah Jones. And rounding out the starting 5 is guard 4, junior, number 40, Raymond Bullock III out of Whitakers, North Carolina, in Nash County down by Winston-Salem. So the Cougars are coached by David DeWina, who's in his 6th season, and he is assisted by Brandon Baker and Chris Sauce. So it's a couple of the players to watch for Averett here today. Raymond Bullock III poured in a career-high 34 points against Huntington. Meanwhile, Montre Cash had 24 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals against Huntington. And meanwhile, an inside look at the numbers, Averett right now with 15.5 offensive rebounds per game, which puts the Cougars 2nd in the USA South in that category. So both teams now are squared off here at midcourt for the tip-off, and we are getting ready to get things started here. And it is going to be Cash coming down with the ball. He's going to get it over to number 2, Lewis. Lewis doing his job as a guard right now, trying to set it up. He gets it out to number 12, Henry. Henry gets it back over to Lewis. Lewis on the inside track to Bullock III. Bullock thought about the jumper, passes out to the top of the key. Henry with it now. Henry driving in the floater, and that is going to fall as Henry's turnaround jumper is going to get the Cougars on the board. Just 27 seconds into the game, 2-0. Right now it's going to be number 12, Anderson, with the ball. He's going to give it off to number 5, Julian Cameron. Cameron trying to drive in. He's going to put it up right outside of the paint, gets it to fall. 2-2 is now your score. So it's Cash now with the ball for the Cougars. Cash thought about the three-pointer. I think it was more of a mental game right there, trying to fake out number 5, Julian Cameron. He's going to give it to Henry, who tries the long ball, does not get it to fall. Number 24, Jones out to Cash. Cash driving in, gets it off the top of the glass. 4-2 is your score now. And so it's going to be number 15, Burchard Edwards, the sophomore guard out of Lehigh Acres, Florida. He's going to bounce pass it over to Henry Blair. Blair with the ball. He is well guarded by Bullock, though. There's the shot, puts it up and over. No good. Henry comes down with the rebound. Is going to give it off to number 2, Lewis. And there's the pull-up from Jones. And Jones gets it from the right side in front of the Cougars student section. 7-2 ball game now. 18-18 left. LaGrange comes in this game 2-8, 1-2 in the USA South. And there's the long ball from Cameron. Does not get it to fall. It's going to be number 12, Henry, coming down with the rebound. Number 40, Bullock, gives it inside to Henry. Henry with the turnaround, blocked by number 32, Youngblood. Henry draws the shooting foul and will go to the line for 2 shots. So Youngblood, the junior forward out of Birmingham, Alabama, whistle with the foul. That is his first personal, first team foul. And that is going to send Henry to the line. Henry looking to make it a 4-possession game here for the Cougars. First shot off the front rim, off the back, no good. Falls harmless to the floor. So I was saying LaGrange comes in 2-8 overall, 1-2 in the USA South. Averett comes in 6-5 overall, 2-1 in the USA South. And Henry's going to hit the back end as he does not leave that one up to the iron, nothing but net. And it is now a 8-2 ball game. But Huntington trying to respond quickly, and it's going to be number 2, Kayshawn Lewis, getting charged with the foul. His first personal, team first. So there's the inbound from Edwards, or Edwards with the inbound. And he's going to give a nice little floater, trying to get over to Anderson. Anderson has a hard time with it, though. Collected by Henry, who gets it off quickly to Lewis. Lewis over to Jones. Jones, a one-handed pass to Lewis. Lewis to Cash. Cash gets it over to Henry. Henry back to Cash. Cash looking to try to make something happen. He's going to take a jumper, does not get it to fall. Averett with the rebound. Jones. So Averett right now doing a good job of rebounding on both ends, and it's helped it to a 8-2 lead here early on. So that is going to be Raymond Bullock pulling up, and Bullock with his second three of the game, and it's now 11-2. As Averett out to a quick 9-point lead over the always tough, always tall, always athletic Panthers. That ball is going to be kicked out to Anderson. Anderson gets it over to number 15, Edwards. Edwards does not get it to fall. Averett with the rebound, the quick reset to Cash. Cash goes up, right-handed layup off the glass, 13-2, and that's going to lead Wallace to a timeout. We're going to take it with him here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on the Averett University Sports Network, or really just the Averett Sports Network. If you're just joining us, Averett out to a quick 13-2 lead. And there's a steal by number 40, Bullock. Bullock with a nice fake and pump move. Jones with the rebound. Jones' shot does not fall. Cash tries to get the rebound. Ball gets loose. Youngblood pulls it down. And they're going to call a jump ball, and it's going to stay with LaGrange. So LaGrange looking for something to quit the bleeding right now, as the Cougars have scored 13 of the game's first 15 points here in the opening 3.5 minutes to get out to a quick 13-2 lead. It's going to be Edwards now with the ball, and it's going to get over to Youngblood. Youngblood gets it over to number 5, Cameron. Cameron well guarded. Averett in the zone. There's the drive, puts it up, not falling. Number 12, Anderson with the rebound. Lewis with the strip. Quick pass to Cash. Cash pulls up from long range. And Cash had to validate park that shot as he got it from the parking deck. But Huntington with the quick restart and basket as Henry Blair makes it a 16-4 game. So Cash now gets it over to Lewis. Lewis back over to Cash. Cash to Lewis. Lewis trying to move around here. Gets it over to Jones. Jones gets it back over to Lewis. Lewis to Bullock. Bullock to Lewis. Cash with another tray. Will not get that one to fall. Jones with the rebound. Follow-up no good, but he will get the tip in on that shot. And it's now 18-14, 15-25 left here in the first half. There's a long pass in to number 11, Blair. Blair cannot get the shot to fall. Rebound collected by Anderson. Anderson pushes it back in. 18-6 is now your score. 15:08 left in the opening period. So Kayshawn Lewis gets it over to Jones. Jones back over to Lewis. Lewis bounce pass inside of Bullock. Bullock bounce pass to Henry. And Henry is going to draw the foul. And it's going to be on number 12, Lincoln Anderson. The 6'8" junior forward, hometown kid out of LaGrange, Georgia. And we've got a timeout here on the floor. So a little bit unexpected so far, as these two teams normally play neck and neck. Of course, a whole lot of time still remaining here. 34 minutes and 56 seconds left in this one. So plenty of time for things to switch around. But right now, Averett has done a good job of grabbing the early momentum. They take an 18-6 lead into this media timeout. And we're going to take a quick look here at some of the averages thus far through the really what's coming up on the midway point of the season. I believe Averett has 17 games left on its schedule. So Kayshawn Lewis right now coming in averaging 2 rebounds a game, also 1 point assist per game, averaging 13.6 minutes per game. Also, Montre Cash coming in really a beast on both ends, 15.3 points a game, but also averaging almost 2 steals per contest. Got Isaiah Jones averaging 12.6 points, 5.9 rebounds despite missing the last 3 games. And Julian Cameron right now, of course, if you are a LaGrange fan, if you are a fan of USA South basketball, you know this name right here, as he currently leads the USA South with 23.2 points, averaging 36.5 per game. And it's going to be number 12, Timothy Henry, at the line for the Cougars, who are looking to get out to a 20-6 advantage here. And let's see what he can do. Henry's first shot is no good. Gravity not very kind to him there, as it kind of rattles in and out on him. Unable to get the shot to fall. Let's see if he can hit the back end. And he will not, and it's going to be number 12, Anderson, coming down with the rebound. Gets it out quickly to Cameron. Cameron does not waste any time getting it over to Arthur Jones, who is just newly into the game for the Panthers. Gets it over to number 12, Anderson. So that is going to be Youngblood. Youngblood showing some moves. Gets it over to Jones on the left corner. Back over to number 5, Cameron. Cameron driving in, puts the shot up, well defended. Mariba Diaby into the game, gets it out to number 5, Ian Best, who's freshly into the game as well for the Cougars. Ian Best, of course, a work-study student here over at Averett. You can catch him on the sidelines. Vince Contreras into the game as well, along with number 13, Corey Baldwin. Gets it over to Henry, who cannot get his jumper to fall. Rebound collected by Youngblood. Pass out to Jones. Jones is going to get that one out to Youngblood, I believe it is. Youngblood gets it out to number 25, Kyle Brown, who's newly into the game. And number 12, Lincoln Anderson, takes a trip to the basket and draws a foul. So Anderson, the 6'8" junior forward, as we mentioned earlier, out of LaGrange, will go to the line, looking to convert the 3-point swing and make it a 9-point game and try to get LaGrange off to a 5-0 run here and get their deficit, get the Panthers' deficit back down to single digits. Number 12, Anderson, puts the shot up, and he will not get the 3 as it misses. Diaby with the rebound, gives it off to Best. Best gets it out to Corey Baldwin. Baldwin chest pass to Contreras. Contreras back to Baldwin. Baldwin gets it inside to, I believe it is number 35, Miles Paulden, who cannot get the shot to fall, and that is Jones coming in the lane, going to offer up a jumper, and will get it to fall. And that is going to be a foul whistled on, I believe it was number 25, Brown. So 18-10 ball game now, as LaGrange has routed off 6 straight points to erase what was once a 14-point deficit. So Corey Baldwin gets it over to Best. Best one-handed bounce pass back to Baldwin. Baldwin over to Contreras. And Vince Contreras will get whistled for an extra step. Vince Contreras, the 6-foot senior guard out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, played at perennial powerhouse Ocean Lakes High School and Ladies and gentlemen, you want to talk about making me feel old. I remember when Vince came in as a freshman 4 years ago and making me feel even older. I remember when his older brother, James Contreras, came in as a freshman as well. So there's the inbound pass over top to Anderson. Anderson tries to put it up, grabs his own junk. Unable to get anything to fall, and I believe he is going to be hit with a travel call on that. It's going to be Averett possession, as it's going to be number 40, Raymond Bullock, the 6'4" junior guard forward out of Whitakers, North Carolina, went to Northern Nash High School. Ian Best. Best gets it out to Diaby. Best a bounce pass back over to Bullock the third. Bullock back to Best at center court. Best taking some great strides there. He's going to give it out to number 13, Baldwin. Baldwin cannot get the three to fall, collected by Cameron. Cameron quickly out to Jones. Jones inside pass over the top to Anderson. Anderson, the right-handed turnaround, and it's an 18-12 game as LaGrange has rattled off a quick 8-0 run over about a 3-minute span here to make this a ball game. Number 13, Baldwin coming in, does not get it to fall. It's going to be Brown with the rebound. Brown over to Youngblood. Youngblood, and a nice job there by Bullock to try to draw the foul, unable to do so. The shot misses. Averett with the defensive board. Contreras now with the ball going inside, and Contreras with a crossover layup. 20-12 now. So Jones gets it over to number 12, Anderson. Anderson, a quick pass to Youngblood. Youngblood back to Anderson. And that pass is going to end up Aaron Best with it. And a nice pass in the air from Best to Contreras. 22-12. So Averett, 4 quick points to try to take the teeth out of the Panthers a little bit. I almost said Pampers. And Contreras is going to draw the charge there. And we've got a timeout on the court. And judging by my almost last misstep there in words, I think we're going to take a timeout with them here on the Averett Sports Network. Averett in front, 22-12, 11:35 left in the half. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back here to the Grant Center. LaGrange pieced together an 8-0 run to pull within 8. Or excuse me, to pull within 6. Averett, of course, 4 quick points if you're just joining us to make it a 22-12 game. Averett really using some hot shooting and that is number 24, Jones, with the shot. The ball is collected by number 12, Lincoln Anderson. So number 15, Edwards to Anderson. Edwards gets it over to Blair. Blair trying to drive down in. He's going to kick it out to Jones. Jones, an inside bounce pass to number 12, Anderson. Anderson well guarded. He's going to get out a pass to Edwards. Edwards, a shot back iron. No good. Averett with the rebound. Chest pass over from Lewis to Cash. Lewis inside to Bullock. Some fast ball movement here from the Cougars. Cash, and that's going to be number 2, Kayshawn Lewis, getting hit with the travel. So Averett almost looking like a well-oiled soccer team out here right now, as very few of its players are holding on to the ball that long. 1-2 touch passes over here, and that is what Coach DeWino and his team want to see right now from against a very athletic LaGrange team. So Jones with the ball. Shot clock down to 9 seconds. Jones midway in, and Jones is going to try to take it himself, going mid-coast, unable to get it to fall. Lewis with the rebound. Lewis gets it over to number 12, Henry, who gets it over to Bullock the third, does not get the shot to fall. LaGrange with the rebound, number 25, Kyle Brown now with it. Brown puts it up, gets it to fall, and he's going to get an and one on that shot. I know we all remember those and one mixtapes from back in the day. So it's going to be number 25, Kyle Brown, at the line trying to knock down the shot, make it a quick 3 points here. And he will not do so. Bullock with the rebound, gets it over to Cash. Cash gets it over to Lewis. Lewis back to Cash. Cash a quick pass to Isaiah Jones. Jones with the jumper, will not fall. Does a good job of battling number 12, Lincoln Anderson, there for the rebound. And I think they're going to say it went off of Jones. That's going to be a good matchup right there, Jones and Anderson. Jones coming in 6'5". And, of course, as we mentioned earlier, Anderson checking in at 6'8". 15, Brashard Edwards now with the ball is going to get over to Kyle Brown. Brown gets that one over to Blair, who takes the three-pointer right in front of Averett's bench. Does not fall. Cougars coming down with the rebound. Cash a running pass over to Lewis. Lewis is going to get that to Jones, over to Bullock. Lewis gets it back over to Cash. Cash is going to get that one to Lewis. Lewis double team right now. Bounce pass to Cash. Bullock at a nice inside pass to Henry. Henry some bad luck on 2 shots there. Arthur Jones showing he's got some fancy hands as he did a quick switch to the left. Going to be number 11, Henry Blair. Henry Blair inside to number 25, Brown. Brown takes a tumble, and the quick pace of play is going to come back to bite Averett a little bit there, as it'll be a turnover. So Porter, Law, Julian Cameron, and I believe it's Youngblood all checking back into the game for LaGrange. 22-14, 8:51 left in the first half here of today's USA South Conference matchup between the Panthers of LaGrange College and your Averett University Cougars. If you're just joining us, I'm former Assistant Sports Information Director Davin Wilson. That is number 5, Julian Cameron with the long ball. Will not get it to fall. Gets it over to Cash now. Cash with the ball. And he gets a beautiful underhanded scoop layup while falling. And Cash almost looked like he was scooping some hand-dipped ice cream right there as he went up for that layup. And definitely had some contact there. But the shot was well placed as it went rolling around and just fell on in. Number 5, Julian Cameron now going to the line. And so Cameron is going to put up the free throw. He'll get it to fall. 24-15 is now your score. 8:28 left in the half. Averett out to a 14-4 lead early on. Since then, both teams have played to an 11-11 stalemate, getting us to this point right now, 24-15. And so that's going to be Jamal Ford, and Jamal Ford with a football pass right there. And it's going to be deflected by number 25, Brown, the 6'5 junior guard out of Dallas, Georgia. And so Cash over to Jones. Jones quickly back to Cash. Cash with the tray. Will not get it to fall. Number 12, Henry, with the rebound. And that's going to be a turnover for Averett. So went back and forth on that last play. And it's going to be number 11, Blair, now with the ball. And Blair is going to get the ignition going and drive it right in. Looked like a Ford F-250 right there. Going into the lane, well guarded, gets the bucket. And speaking of F-250s, that is number 14, Bryson Davis. Shot does not fall. Ford with the three. Ford hustles, though, gets the rebound on the three, kisses it back in. 26-17 game, 7:40 left in the half. Head coach David DeWino wants a timeout, and I would like one too, so we will be right back here on the Averett Sports Network. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to East Stewart Grant Center. 26-17 game over midway through the first half. Averett started off early with a hot hand shooting. Also did a great job rebounding on both ends. Led to a 14-4 advantage early on. Of course, LaGrange coming back. And they have outscored the Cougars 13-12 since that point. And looking to add to that total is Henry Blair with the three. Does not get to fall. Jones with the rebound. And Jones is going to draw the foul. So Jones, the 6'5" sophomore forward out of Wake Forest, North Carolina. Big basketball area down there, really. Anywhere in the Wake Forest, Winston-Salem, Durham, Raleigh, Chapel Hill area. First shot unable to fall. Got a lot of ACC basketball down that way, and of course with ACC basketball comes elite basketball players. And there's the second shot, does not get it to fall. Henry with the rebound. They always joke around and say that bluegrass players are grown from trees down in North Carolina, and really basketball players are as well. And Timothy Henry will go to the line again for Averett. Trying to make this a 11-point game, as it was number 32, Youngblood, whistle for the foul. That is his third of the half, so Youngblood already into some foul trouble. Henry gets the first shot to fall. We're going to have number 12, Lincoln Anderson, into the game now for LaGrange, and for Averett, it's going to be Vince Contreras. See if Henry can knock down his second shot. It's already a 10-point game in favor of the Cougars. And Henry's going to make it 11 as he tickles the twine on the back end. And a quick steal from Cash, as Cash must have telegraphed Porter Law's mind right there, as he was right there ready for that pass and came in there and picked it off. And there's the inside dish to Henry. And Henry makes it a 30-17 game. So Law is going to get it over to number 12, Anderson. Anderson back over to Blair. Blair with some fancy footwork trying to go into traffic. And he's going to cause a collision. And he's going to get the foul. Jamal Ford getting hit with the second personal. Averett 6. So 11, Henry Blair is going to get the insurance claim after that accident in the middle of the paint. First shot up and in. 30-18 is now the score. 6:44 left in the first half. And so let's see here what Blair can do with his second attempt. And second attempt is not going to fall. Henry with the rebound. He's going to get it out to Cash. Cash quickly out to number 13, Baldwin. Baldwin a bounce past Contreras. Contreras quickly out to number 14, Bryson Davis. Davis gets it back to Baldwin. Baldwin to Cash. Cash back to Baldwin. Baldwin back to Cash. Cash back to Baldwin. Baldwin gets it out to number 14, Bryson Davis. Tipped there by number 25, Brown. Collected by Blair. Blair a quick pass over to Jones. Jones gets it to Blair. And I believe Blair is going to get whistled for the travel there. He is. And so that will give the Cougars the ball with 6:15 left to go in this first half. Averett on the inbound. Number 13, Corey Baldwin to be specific. Baldwin over to Contreras. Contreras a bounce pass back to Baldwin. Baldwin over to Cash. Cash inside over the top to Henry. And look at that pass right there. And that was Cash to Henry on the nice, well-placed floater pass. So number 25, Kyle Brown, gets it out to number 11, Henry Blair. Henry Blair over to Cameron. Cameron with the jumper, does not fall. Number 14, Bryson Davis with the board, gets it out to Cash. Cash gets it out to Davis. Davis over to Contreras. Contreras puts up the three, does not get it. That is Lewis with the rebound. Lewis cannot get his shot to fall. And that ball is going to go off of Contreras. LaGrange ball, and actually it's going to be a foul. Corey Baldwin getting hit with his first personal. Team 7th. That will send LaGrange, both teams, into bonus now. And we're going to have number 15, Burchard Edwards, into the game for the Panthers. He will replace Henry Blair. So Anderson, the junior forward, at the line for the one-and-one, excuse me. And he will get a second shot as he gets his first one to fall. 32-19, 5:28 left to go in the first half. First part of the half controlled by Averett. LaGrange comes around about quarter way through, and there's going to be the second shot. 32-20. LaGrange came back. Looked like they were going to grab the momentum. Did grab the momentum. And, of course, Averett has since stolen it back. It's going to be number 2, Lewis, over to number 40, Bullock. Bullock gets it over to number 14, Davis. Davis back to Lewis. Lewis over to number 13, Baldwin. Baldwin a bounce pass to Bullock. Bullock puts it up, will not fall. LaGrange with the rebound. Of course, that's going to be Brown, well guarded down there by Averett right now. So it looked like Averett might be thinking about going to a 2-3 man press there for a second, but they quickly back off. So Bryson Davis getting hit with the foul. That is his first personal, team 8th. Will send number 25, Brown, to the line. Looks like Mariba Diaby coming back into the game for Averett. First shot is up and good, and Brown will earn the second. Brown, the 6'5 junior guard, Dallas, Georgia. Looking to try to knock down 2 straight, get his team's deficit down to 10, and that's exactly what he will do with 4:54 remaining here in the half. So Keyshawn Lewis gets it over to number 40, Raymond Bullock III. And Keyshawn Lewis now with the ball, the 5'10 sophomore guard out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Frank W. Cox gets it over to Contreras. Contreras back to Lewis. Lewis a bounce pass into Bullock, and well guarded there by number 12, Anderson, on the shot. He's going to get it out quickly to Cameron. Cameron puts up the jumper right on the border, three-point land, will not fall. 4:20 now left in the first half. Contreras. And that ball is stolen by number 25, Brown. Brown Gets it over to number 15, Edwards. Edwards trying to drive, and Contreras is going to get hit with the reach. So Burchard Edwards now at the line. A lot of changes in basketball here lately as far as hand checking and distance you got to stay, and it's made the game a little less physical. Definitely not back in the days of the NBA back in the 60s and the 70s. Number 15, Burchard Edwards. And so it's going to be number 24, Isaiah Jones, checking into the game for the Cougars. For Contreras. And second shot is up and in. So LaGrange, a perfect 6 for 6 from the line over the last few minutes. And it's helped them trim what was once a 14-point deficit down to 8 as we are nearing the end of the first half. Kayshawn Lewis. Lewis, a bounce pass over to number 13, Baldwin, but number 25, Kyle Brown, reaches in, smacks it away. So we've got a timeout on the floor. We got a full, so we're going to go ahead and stay with you, though, here. So we have a little Marvin Gaye, and I believe it's Tammy Wynette. Or not Tammy Wynette, but Wynette, of course, the country singer. Having trouble remembering the young lady's name who sang with Gaye on this song, but anyway, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, and it's a song well used in athletic movies. Of course, probably the most memorable being Remember the Titans, about the T.C. Williams team that posted a perfect record on their way to a VHL state championship back about 50 years ago, I guess, now here at the point at the turn of the civil rights movement, and one of the first schools in Virginia to actually be integrated. So LaGrange looks like they are organized and ready to get back on the court. Averett's still using the 30 seconds or so they have left. And so here we go as we are ready to resume play. 3:45 left in the first half. 32-24 is your score in favor of the Cougars, who have not yet trailed in this game. It's going to be number 13, Baldwin, over to Lewis. Lewis drives in, the hook shot, the hook layup, and does not get it to fall. Deflects off an Averett player, and so LaGrange looking to close out the half on some momentum. With some momentum. They have gotten a 14-point deficit down to 8 thanks to 6 for 6 shooting from the charity stripe. So LaGrange right now with the ball. That is number 5, Cameron. And we've got a foul whistled on the Cougars. Number 24, Isaiah Jones. I believe that is that is Jones's first personal. Team 10th. So Cameron going to the line now. His first shot rolls around a little bit, but goes in. Number 12, Timothy Henry. So, of course, from this point from now on, LaGrange will be shooting 2. Second shot from Cameron, up and in, and make that 8 for 8 over about a 3-minute span from the line for LaGrange. So Lewis now with the ball. Lewis trying to make something happen. LaGrange playing some tight defense. That is number 13, Baldwin, trying to take the three-pointer. Will not get it to fall. Rebound collected by Brown. That is going to be number 15, Edwards, trying to drive in. Will not get it to fall. Number 12, Henry with the rebound. The long pass down to Bullock. Bullock, unfortunate, as I think he might have had a little bit too much momentum going into that layup. That is going to be number 2, Porter Law. He's going to get it down to number 25, Brown. Brown driving in, kissed it off the glass, no good. Jones with the rebound. Gets it over to Lewis. Lewis gets it over to Baldwin. Baldwin with the tray. Will not get it to fall. Cameron with the rebound. And a nice behind the bounce back pass, but not enough on it as Baldwin runs in and intercepts it. And Baldwin is going to draw the blocking foul there. (32-26), 2:17. Number 2, Porter Law, the 6'1" sophomore guard out of Rome, Georgia. Of course, Rome and Danville have his first shot up and in from number 13, Corey Baldwin. Rome and Danville have a little bit in common as the Danville Braves are the rookie affiliate for the Atlanta Braves. And then Rome, I believe, is high single-A minor league affiliate for the Atlanta Braves as well. So Rome and Danville sharing a little bit in common there. So number 15, Brashard Edwards. Edwards gets it over to number 5, Cameron. Cameron driving in, kisses it off the glass, and he's going to go to the line for a pair. Foul called against number 12, Timothy Henry. Henry's first personal. .202 left, 7-point game. And we're going to have Arthur Jones coming in for LaGrange and Montre Cash coming in for the Cougars. Of course, Cash, first shot is up, no good. Of course, Cash, you can catch him here on the Averett Sports Network every now and then. He does jump on and try to do a little broadcasting for us here. And I've had the pleasure of broadcasting a couple of games with him and does a good job. It's number 5, Julian Cameron. Second shot is going to fall, 33-27. So LaGrange 9 of 10 now from the free throw line, and it has made the difference. And I believe it is going to be number 25, Brown, getting whistled for the foul. That is Brown's second personal, team 8th. And that's going to send, I believe, Cash to the line. It's going to be number 11, Henry Blair, back into the game for the Panthers. And excuse me, it's actually going to be Bullock at the line for the 1-and-1 attempts. Bullock's shot falls through. 34-27, 1:53 remaining. Here in the first half, looks like Ian Best is going to go back in for Averett. He will check in for Lewis. Best, the 6-foot senior guard out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. Attended Charles B. Aycock High School. And second shot will not fall. LaGrange with the board. Arthur Jones now, and Arthur Jones with a midcourt pass, and LaGrange with some quick tempo play, but I think it got to Brown as Brown went up for the shot, does not get it to fall. And the arrow, I believe, is going to go with the Cougars. No, it's actually going to stay with LaGrange, as it was number 25, Brown, having his shot blocked. So number 12, Anderson. Now with the ball, he's going to get it out to number 11, Blair. So Blair goes up and tries to drive, but Jones doing his best. Dikembe Mutombo impression says no, no, no. And Best answers with a huge tray on the other end, 37-27. And Averett needed that shot in the arm. So number 11, Blair, in the inside game right now for LaGrange is strong. And Bullock is going to get hit with the foul. And that will send Lincoln Anderson to the line. We're going to have number 2, Porter Law, checking back into the game here after Anderson's first shot for LaGrange. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how you guys are feeling right now, but if the second half brings anywhere close to the action the first half has brought, I am very much looking forward to it. And Ladies and gentlemen, if you're at home right now, give head athletic trainer over here at Averett, Thomas Underwood, a big round of applause, coming out and wiping up the sweat from the court. That's a slippery job, pun intended, but somebody's got to do it. Anderson, first shot does not fall, so it's going to be Law and Edwards coming back into the game. So number 12, Lincoln Anderson, trying to knock down the back end of his shots here for LaGrange as we are entering the final 64 seconds of the first half. So Anderson puts up the shot, gets it to fall, 37-28. 9-point differential now. Cash gets it over to number 12, Henry. Henry back over to Cash. Cash gets it over to Bullock the third. Bullock third over to Best. Best a bounce pass to Cash. Cash trying to drive in. He's going to lose the handle on it, though. It's going to be number 25, Brown. Brown gets it over to Law. Law back to Brown. Brown puts his shot up, and I believe they are going to count it. They are. And he will go to the line as Best is, whistle for the foul. So that is Best's second personal. And Brown at the line for a single shot. 34.6 ticks remain. That shot rims out. And it's going to be number 12, Henry, coming down with it. Gets over to Cash. Cash to Bullock. Bullock quickly back to Henry. Henry over to Best. And Best gets acrobatic with the layup there. And there's going to be a long off-balance three from Cameron. No good. Cash with the rebound. Cash doing a great job of controlling himself right now. And it makes a difference as he kisses it in off the board. And Averett is going to end the half with 4 straight points to take a 41-30 lead into the break. Keep it locked right here. I'm going to take a quick break, get a couple of sips of Coca-Cola in, and then I'll be right back with the URW halftime show here on the Averett Sports Network. Averett holding on to a 41-30 lead. We'll be right back in just a minute from Danville. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Averett Sports Network. We are 2.5 minutes away from the start of the second half. If you're just joining us, Averett out to a 41-30 lead at the break. Thank you for joining us here on the URW Halftime Show. If you're just joining us, I am former Averett University Assistant Sports Information Director Davin Wilson, and I'm currently a little out of breath, excuse me. And if you're just joining us, you missed a exciting first half of basketball. Averett looked like it was, Averett came out of the gate very strong, taking as many as a 14-point lead early on. LaGrange, though, used a 8-0 run to trim that deficit down to 6. Averett re-extended its lead to 14, but 8-9 shooting over about a 3-minute stretch from the floor helped the Panthers cut that deficit down. So we're going to take a look here real quick at some of the leaders of today's game, at least in the first half. First off, for LaGrange, the Panthers have been led by Lincoln Anderson's 9 points, also led by his 8 rebounds, including 5 on the defensive end. Meanwhile, Julian Cameron with 6. Also, Kyle Brown with 6 has also contributed 6 rebounds, and this is a very impressive stat right here, folks. All 6 coming on the defensive end. And then you've got Henry Blair with 5. So for the Cougars right now, it is Montre Cash leading the way. The game's only double-digit scorer thus far. Excuse me, has 11 points. Meanwhile, Timothy Henry with 9. You've got Isaiah Jones with 5 and Ian Best with 5 as well. And all 5 of Best actually came towards the end of the half that helped the Cougars get their lead back to double digits. So this is the big difference maker, or couple of the big difference makers right now. Averett shooting 41% from the field, 16 of 39. Meanwhile, LaGrange struggling a little bit from the floor, 9 of 29. And this has been the key thus far. Averett, 4 of 13, 30.8% from the three-point line, which is definitely a number David Duino will want his Cougars to improve upon moving forward. But when you look at LaGrange, 0 of 6 from three-point range, and that has been one of the biggest difference makers. Of course, we were talking just a second ago about LaGrange and how they knocked down, I believe it was 8 of 9 or 9 of 10 of their free throws over a 3-minute span there near the end of the first half, and that shot them to a 63.2 percentage from the line. So we're going to take a look at the rebound battle. Averett very early on used this inside presence to not only get buckets, but to also grab a couple of big rebounds too. They lead the Panthers 30-22 right now on the rebounding end. And one of the big differences in this one thus far, and it will be moving forward as we've got a close game. Averett right now, 30 total boards. LaGrange with 22. 21 of those 30 for Averett, though, have come on the defensive end, while LaGrange has 18 defensive rebounds. And so, excuse me, it's going to be Lincoln Anderson starting off the half with the bucket for LaGrange to get the Panthers' deficit down to 9. So Cash does a good job of hauling in a quick pass there. Lewis now with the ball. Lewis is going to get it over to Jones. Jones back to Cash. Cash inside to Henry. Henry trying to find Bullock, but the pass was just a little bit too far in front, had a little bit too much mustard, a little bit too much sauce on it, and LaGrange is going to take over here. So number 15, Burchard Edwards now with the ball. So Edwards gets it over to number 5, Julian Cameron. Cameron going up. Bounce pass inside to Anderson. And Anderson is going to draw the foul. And he will go to the line for the first free throw shots of the second half. Tim Henry getting hit with his first personal foul. Excuse me, actually second personal, team first. Referee had to go all the way over into the wing over there by the athletic training offices to retrieve that ball. But he has retrieved it, and here comes Anderson's attempt. Shot does not fall. It's Lewis with the rebound. Lewis gets over to Cash. Cash back over to Bullock, the third, but that pass is stolen by Blair. Blair, a pass over to Youngblood, and Youngblood is going to draw the foul from Henry. Or actually, Raymond Bullock. That is Bullock's third personal. So Bullock now facing some foul trouble. Number 32, Ronald Youngblood at the line. Youngblood's shot does not fall. Youngblood did not have a free throw attempt in the first half. Still looking for his first points of the game. And he will not find it on that either as Henry comes down with the board. Gets it over to Lewis. Lewis back to Bullock, the third. Bullock gets it over to Cash. Cash gets it over to Lewis. It's a high pass. Lewis really had to get his legs going there to come down with that one. Bullock back to Lewis. Lewis inside to Henry. Henry over to Jones. Jones with the tray will not fall. And it is going to be Averett ball as it was number 32, Youngblood, touched it last. Youngblood not too happy about that, and that's actually going to be a foul, excuse me. That is Youngblood's third personal foul. First team foul of the half for the Panthers. And there's a quick takeaway from LaGrange, but look at Lewis's speed, and he's unable to catch up with Jones, though, as that shot will fall. And excuse me, that was actually Cameron with the basket. So Lewis over to Bullock. Bullock back to Cash. Cash back to Lewis. Lewis into Cash. Cash over the top to Bullock. Bullock driving in. He puts it up. Does not fall. It is going to be number 12, Lincoln Anderson, I believe, with the rebound. And Jones getting whistled for the foul there, his second personal. 41-36 is your score. LaGrange on a 6-0 run to start off the half, make it 8-0 as number 15, Edwards, gets a basket on the layup, 41-38. And this is as close as LaGrange has been since the opening minutes. So Cash gets it over to Lewis. Lewis inside to Henry. Henry goes up, cannot get it to fall. It is going to be Anderson with the rebound, I believe it was. Yes, it was. He'll get it out to number 15, Edwards. Edwards gets it out to number 5, Cameron. Cameron with a jumper will not fall. Cameron gets the rebound, though. Inside pass. Henry gets his hand on it. Pass was intended for Anderson. And that ball goes out of bounds. And that will go to the Panthers. 41-38 is your score as LaGrange has scored the first 8 points of the second half to trim his deficit to a possession. It's number 12, Anderson, with the ball. Inside pass to number 5, Cameron. Cameron puts up the jumper, and it's now a 1-point game, 41-30. So it's now Bullock. Bullock is going to get over to Lewis. Lewis to Cash. Cash with the tray. Will not get it to fall. Jones with the rebound. Jones with the jumper. Cannot get it to go in. LaGrange with the rebound. That was number 25, Kyle Brown. Number 15, Edwards. Back to Brown. Brown's shot blocked. And Lewis with the spin move. Gets it out to Bullock, the third, inside to Henry. Henry shot good, and Averett is on the board for the first time in the second half, 43-40. It's going to be number 25 now, Brown with the ball, and there's going to be a foul whistled on the play. And it's going to be number 24, Isaiah Jones. That is Jones's third personal, team fourth. And Arthur Jones coming into the game for LaGrange. Also, number 14, Bryson Davison for the Cougars, and Vince Contreras as well into the game. So Jones looking for somebody on the inbound. He will finally find Brown. Brown gives it right back to Jones. So Jones, the bounce pass to number 5, Cameron. Cameron with the jumper, and he gets it to fall. It's now a 43-42 ball game. So Cash over to Davis. Davis quick over to Contreras. Contreras over to Cash. That ball is stripped by number 25, Brown. And Brown is going to get hit with the charge. And so we're going to have a host of new players coming in for the Cougars. Number 30, Jamal Ford. Number 44, Noah Smith. And number 5, Ian Best will all come back into the game after the first media timeout of the half. So Averett came in with an 11-point lead, 41-30. The Panthers have outscored Averett 12-2, though over the opening roughly 5 minutes of the second half to trim their deficit to 43-42 with 15:36 left in the contest. One of the big keys that we were talking about on the URW halftime show is one of the stats that really stuck out to me was Averett really controlling the defensive end of rebounds, and it's gone to LaGrange a little bit here in the second half though, and that has made a bit of a difference as LaGrange has erased an 11-point deficit and has pulled within one. Averett went about 3 minutes into the first half without getting his first bucket. And we are just about ready to restart here as Bullock gets it over to Cash. Bullock back to Cash. Cash back to Bullock. Bullock gets it over to number 12, Henry. Henry back to Bullock. Bullock to Cash. Cash gets it over to Bryson Davis. Davis gets it back over to Cash. Shot clock down to 12. Contreras looking to drive in. Well guarded. He's going to get a pass out trying to find Henry, but the ball is stripped and it's going to go with LaGrange. So Ian Best now into the game for Cash. It's number 25, Kyle Brown. It's going to be on the inbound for the Panthers. Gets it over to number 0, Arthur Jones. Jones gets it over to 25, Brown. Brown gets it over to Cameron. Cameron gets it over to Jones, over to Blair. Blair gets it back over to Anderson. Anderson over to Jones. Best, good job keeping space. Doing a great job to finish. Shot no good by Anderson. Bullock comes down with the board. Contreras goes up, kisses it off the glass. 45-42. So LaGrange not wasting any time getting the ball down the court. Kyle Brown driving in, and he gets the scoop layup off the glass. 45-44, so Bullock the third, and Bullock the third answers right back on the other end in less than 10 seconds. 47-44. Both of these teams right now playing at a dizzying pace, trying to wear each other down, and I have a feeling it's going to be a war of attrition from this point on. Number 5, Cameron, trying to make something happen, gets it out to Blair. Blair driving in, shot is deflected off a LaGrange player and out of bounds. 13:55 left in this contest. 47-44 is your score. So Bryson Davis, a bad pass intended for Bullock, and that is going to be number 5, Cameron, making him pay on the other end. 1 point game. Bullock, the third, now gets it over to Bryson Davis. Davis over to Contreras. Contreras back to Davis. Davis gets it over to Best. Best gets it over to Contreras. Contreras back to Best. Best gets it over to Davis. Davis inside to Henry. Henry outside to Contreras. Contreras tries to drive in, and he's going to draw the foul in the process. Number 2, Porter Law, getting whistled with the foul. That is actually, Kyle Brown getting whistled for the foul. His 4th personal, team 3rd. And so it's going to be number 13, Corey Baldwin, over to Contreras. Contreras back to Baldwin. Baldwin over to Best. Best a bounce back to number 13, Baldwin. Baldwin over to Contreras. Contreras puts up the 3, draws the foul, and nearly got the Cougars. A big play right there. So Porter Law getting hit with the foul for LaGrange. And Contreras will go to the line for a trio of shots. Going to have number 24, Jones, checking into the game here momentarily for the Cougars. Contreras' first shot up and in. 48-46 is now your score. So Contreras going in for the second shot. He will get it to fall, and it's now 49-46. So Jones back in for Bullock. So Contreras looking to make it a perfect tray for Trey here. 3 for 3. And unable to do so, but he will grab the rebound off his missed attempt. And the pass is going to deflect off a couple of different Averett players. And it will go out of bounds. So LaGrange trying to get it back down with one or possibly tie it, and that's exactly what Henry Blair does as he knocks down a long three-pointer there. 49-49, 12:39 left in the first half. And that ball is going to be swatted away by LaGrange. Number 5, Julian Cameron, and Cameron throws up a 3, and LaGrange takes its first lead of the game. 52-49 with 12:22 left in the game. So Ian Best with the 3 ball will not fall. Law with the quick rebound and tip pass over to Blair. Blair will not be able to get the shot to fall as it's swatted away by Best. LaGrange on the inbound. And there's a steal from Averett. And Contreras coming up, and he will not get the basket to fall, but he will draw a foul, sending him to the line.
LaGrange foul charge number 15, Richard Edwards. His first personal. Timeout on the floor.
And we've got a timeout on the floor. We're going to take it with them. LaGrange in front, 52-49. 11:55 left to play. We'll be right back here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Eastwood Grant Center, where Vince Contreras is going to go to line for a pair of free throws, trying to pull his guys back within a point, and he will hit the first one, 52-50. Second shot in, and 52-51. So 11:55 left to go in this one. LaGrange has outscored Averett 22-10 thus far in the second half over the first 9 minutes to get us to this point, erasing an 11-point deficit at the half. Shot goes up and in. That was number 5, Julian Cameron. And he will go to the line for a lone shot.
Team Smith. Cameron to the line for one shot.
And here it comes. Shot is up and in, so there's a 3-point swing to take a 1-point LaGrange lead and build it to 4 at 55-51. Getting down to the 11-minute mark here in Danville. It's been no doubt what we expected here. Always a battle between these two teams when they meet, and today has been no different. Ian Best driving in. Will not get the shot to fall. LaGrange coming up with the defensive board, but Best with the steal. Now just needs to calm it down a little bit. Does a great job of doing that, staying at home. Contreras trying to drive in, and that ball is going to be stripped by Edwards, but Edwards will also knock it down. Well, knock it down and knock it out. And Averett will get the ball on the reset, looking to try to reestablish some of this momentum at home. It was all going for the Cougars at the start of the second half. And there's a jump shot by number 12, Henry. Does not fall. And that's going to be number 32, Ronald Youngblood, taking a long pass, laying it up. 57-51 is now your score. So Cash trying to drive in, gets it out to Best. Best driving in, passes it out to Bullock the third. And Best with a nice dime to Bullock, Bullock hits the layup. 57-53 is now your score. It's going to be number 15, Edwards, with it. He's going to get it over to number 5, Cameron. Cameron's jumper falls. 59-53. So Bullock the third gets it over to Best. Best over to Cash. Cash back to Best. Best trying to drive in. He gets it over to Cash. Cash inside to Bullock. And Bullock's pass intended for Henry is tipped by Youngblood. So we've got Isaiah Jones and Jamal Ford back into the game for the Cougars. Best on the inbound. And local sports fans, Averett has been able to get a big pick here in. And there is a layup attempt there by Bullock the third. He will draw the foul. But Bryson McLaughlin actually went down to Virginia Tech, former Dan River football, basketball standout. Went up actually to Blacksburg. Walked on to the football team up there, the legendary Hokies football team. And then ended up transferring back. So Bullock's first shot is off the front rim, nothing falling. Ended up coming back to his hometown, though, playing for Duino, but they're waiting for some paperwork to come through, waiting for some transcripts. And Bullock's second shot, not good, off the back end. It's going to be number 15, Edwards, with the rebound. Edwards gets it over to number 11, Blair. Blair driving in, puts it off the glass, does not get it to fall. Bullock the third with the rebound, gets it over to Best. Best has trouble staying on his feet, but Bullock gets the rebound. Henry So LaGrange now with the ball. So Jamal Ford, quick pass over to Best. Best, a nice pass to Henry, and Henry finishes it. Second example of unselfish play from Best. And that is what you want to see if you are David Duino, from not only a senior, but also one of your senior guards. Unselfish, smart, high IQ basketball. Pass inside to number 32, Youngblood. And talking about high school high IQ basketball, LaGrange put in the same thing together there. A trio of passes into Youngblood to get the basket and to increase the Panthers' lead to 61-55. So Jamal Ford, he gets it over to Bullock the third. Bullock the third over to Ford. Ford with the tray. Unlucky there. And Isaiah Jones getting charged with the personal foul right there for the Cougars. Wanted to wait to make sure I was going to call that one right there. So LaGrange with the ball on the inbound. Bounce pass over to Cameron. Cameron over the top to Anderson. And I believe Anderson. And Lincoln Anderson getting charged with the, charge. That is his fourth personal. And that will bring back in Porter Law for the Panthers. And also number 25, Kyle Brown, back into the game for LaGrange, who currently holds a 61-55 lead. Both teams in the bonus, and has been a very physical game thus far. It's 21 total fouls in the first half. We're looking at 13 here in the second, bringing the total to 34. So right now we're averaging, give or take, 17 fouls a half. Over 28 minutes of play thus far. And Averett right now looking for a way to get back into it. Not that by any means they are out of it, but really better choice of words there would be looking to regain the momentum that it had there coming in to the half. So Lewis gets it over to Ford. Ford gets it back over to Contreras. Contreras gets over to Lewis. Lewis inside to Ford. Henry with a jumper, and it rattles around for a minute, leaves everybody in suspense, but eventually falls in. 4-point game now with just under 8 minutes. Number 25, Brown, gets it over to Law. Law gets it over to Cameron. Cameron trying to drive in, gives it over to Brown. Brown can't get the shot to fall, but Youngblood gets it to fall, 63-57. Ford double teamed right now. And that's going to lead to a unforced error and a media timeout here. So we're going to take it with them here, ladies and gentlemen. 63-57 is your score. 7:23 left in this contest. We'll be right back on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are back here at the Grant Center here in Danville, Virginia. Got about 7:21 left in this contest. LaGrange right now with the ball. And there's the long three-pointer from Cameron. Will not fall. Averett there with the rebound. So Jamal Ford over to Lewis. Lewis back to Ford. Ford inside to Henry. Henry to Lewis. Lewis cannot get the shot to fall. Youngblood comes down with it. Quick pass over to 25, Kyle Brown. Brown kicks it out to the wing to Cameron. Cameron back over to Jones, who puts up the tray. No good. Contreras trying to get the ball down. It will be swiped by number 0 or by number 2, Porter Law. Excuse me. Arthur Jones gets it over to Porter Law. Kendall Wallace telling his guys just to slow everything down right now. Porter Law gets it over to Cameron. Cameron, a bounce pass inside to Brown. There's a long three ball from Jones. And there's a foul whistled on the play going against Lewis. That is Lewis's second personal. And that is going to send Jones to the line for a trio. First shot is going to trickle around for a second, but eventually falls 64-57. This is LaGrange's biggest lead of the game up to this point. Of course, Averett has led by as many as 14 a couple of times throughout this competition. So let's see what Jones can do the second time around. He gets it, so we're going to have Bullock, Cash, Isaiah Jones, and Corey Baldwin all into the game for Averett, who now trails 65-57, 6:15 left to go in the game. Second shot from Jones is up and in, and it's now 66-57. So Bullock over to Cash, Cash to Bullock. Bullock gets it over to Ford. Cash with the three, and he gets it. And that is what Averett needed right there, was in danger of going down by double digits. Cash drills that three-pointer, though, right in front of his own bench, 66-60. And now Cameron with the long ball, cannot get it to fall. That is going to be number 13, Baldwin coming down. Baldwin, a bounce pass to Jones. Jones gets it to fall. Excuse me, Baldwin. That was Jones. Gets it to fall. It is now a 4-point game. And ladies and gentlemen, the back and forth continues. Porter Law now with the ball. It's it over to Cameron. Cameron inside to Brown. Brown puts it up, and it's back to a 6-point game. So Bullock the third gives it off to Cash. Cash gets it over to Baldwin. Baldwin over to Cash. Cash over to Jones. Jones inside to Henry. Henry back to Jones. Jones inside to Bullock. Bullock to Jones. Jones with the three ball. Look good. Does not fall. Bullock gets the rebound. Gets the basket, but he will be hit with a foul. That is Bullock's fourth personal. Coach David Duino having a talk with the official about that last call. There were some things that he wasn't too happy about on that last one. Bullock getting hit with the charging foul. It'll be 0 Jones with the ball now. Gives it over to number 15, Edwards. Edwards inside to number 25, Brown. Brown over to Jones. Jones with the three, does not fall. Cash comes down with the board. So Cash, a nice spin move, gets it out to Jones. Jones puts up the jumper, will not fall, but look at that. Corey Baldwin there to try to put the tip back. Cannot get it, though. Number 5, Cameron coming in. Ball is stolen by Baldwin. Baldwin not wasting any time, grabs a quick breath, gets back down, gets it to Jones. Jones over to Cash, and here Wallace yelling out 3. And Cash tries to put it up, cannot get it to fall. It's going to be LaGrange with the rebound. 3:52 remaining. Arthur Jones gets it over to Brown. Brown over to Edwards. Edwards into Brown. Brown trying to make something happen. Brown spin move, layup, gets it to fall, and that is a 8-point game. 3:33 remaining. Averett looking to try to put something together, and the Cougars definitely need to make it happen now. Number 13, Baldwin, tries to make something happen. Good defense there by LaGrange. So it's going to be number 25, Brown, now with the ball. Brown gets it over to Edwards. Edwards back to Brown. Brown gets it over to Jones. Jones trying to drive in. Averett does a good job of keeping his concentration there as Jones picks up the loose ball, but LaGrange right back with a forced turnover. Kyle Brown, and Brown makes it a 10-point game. And David Duino takes the timeout, and we're going to take it with him here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And LaGrange starting to pull away in this one, 72-62. 2:44 left in the game. Averett really just seemed like a different team here in the second half. Shot 40% from the floor, and Henry's going to get it back down to single digits. Averett shot 41% from the field in the first half. And, of course, now going with a 3-man press. And we've got a timeout coming on the behalf of the Panthers. But Averett really, first half, 41% from the floor, 16 of 39 shooting. Those numbers have definitely dropped here in the second half. Also, Averett came in with 21 defensive rebounds in the second half, and LaGrange has been collecting missed Averett opportunities at will. And that has been the difference here in the second half. Of course, LaGrange has trailed by as many as 14 throughout the game at various points. Trailed 11 coming into the second half, and they have an 8-point lead right now, control this game. So obviously there's a lot of time for Averett left to make things happen by no means is this ball game over. 123 seconds in basketball might as well be a lifetime. But they will definitely have to start finding that hot hand again. And they're definitely going to have to start doing a little bit better of a job muscling out under the boards and grabbing the defensive trash, or really grabbing the offensive rebounds as well, as the Cougars have had a hard time shooting thus far in the second half. So, and that's really one thing Averett and Coach Duino hang their hats on. That's their bread and butter, defense and rebounding, and really haven't seen a whole lot of either from the Cougars here in the second half. Let's see if that little pep talk they no doubt got from David Duino got him going. Number 25, Brown, with the ball, the layup, and Brown is going to draw the foul. And my time here spent working at the table in various roles. I've heard some pretty fiery speeches from Duino, some speeches that definitely will remind you of the late, great Jimmy Valvano and his emotion and passion. And so let's see if one of those speeches can't maybe help Averett out here. So Vince Contreras checking into the game for Averett. Meanwhile, number 2, Porter Law, and number 32, Youngblood, coming back into the game for LaGrange. 72-64, 2:01 left. So we were talking about earlier, LaGrange has taken 4 of the last 5 matchups between this team and are looking to, or between against Averett, and are looking to even up the series, which is now approaching on 10 games at 5. So Brown's first shot falls through. Youngblood back into the game for LaGrange. 73-64, 2:01 remaining. Let's see what happens going down the stretch here. So Brown's second shot goes through, and it's now a double-digit advantage here for the Panthers. And we had a brief time out here on the court to fix the shot clock. Everything is reset now, though, and ready to go. That is one job I do not miss doing. And so it's going to be number 13, Baldwin now. Gets it over to Contreras. Contreras back to Baldwin. Baldwin to Contreras. Contreras gets it over to Jones. Jones back to Contreras. And that's going to be a swipe and steal. Let's see if LaGrange converts. Youngblood going up. They will. 76-64. Now a minute and a half remaining. So Contreras over to Cash. Cash gets it over to Baldwin. Baldwin cannot get the 3 to fall. It is Youngblood with the rebound. Gets it over to Law, who gets it back to Youngblood. Youngblood gets it over to Cameron. Cameron over the top to Anderson. Anderson turnaround jumper. Gets it to fall. 14-point difference now. 78-64. Contreras over to Baldwin. Baldwin gets it over to Cash. Cash with the 3 will not fall. Henry with the rebound. Henry gets it to fall. And it's now a 12-point game with 45 seconds remaining, 44. And Youngblood with the huge dunk. And foul in the process. And Isaiah Jones, his 5th personal. He will now have to leave the game. Ian Best is going to be checking in for him. Meanwhile, you got Brashard Edwards checking into the game for LaGrange. And this game has been a tale of 2 halves, as Averett really looked like it was on good track. Youngblood at the line for one shot. So it looked like Averett was on good track to really run away with this thing. And it has been all LaGrange here in the second half, 81-66, 38.5 remaining. And bounce pass, and that is going to test Assistant Sports Information Director Joseph Swanson. That is going to test his quick hands down there at the table. And I have definitely been in that position quite a few times. Of course, basketball not as hard to slow down as a volleyball coming at you at full speed. But it is still difficult. And I think at this point, LaGrange is just going to let the time wind down on this one, as there are 6 seconds left. And three-pointer at the buzzer, and Cameron will get it to fall. And that should be the last play of the game. It is, and LaGrange comes in here to Averett and comes into Danville and scores an 84-66 win over the Cougars. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here today on the Averett Sports Network. Hope you enjoyed everything. And we will catch you on January the 4th. Or excuse me, we will catch you on Tuesday here on the Averett Sports Network. On behalf of Averett Sports Network, I'm Davin Wilson signing off. Thanks for joining in. We'll catch you next time.